Just 72 hours ago, Alexandra Eala was standing on the mountaintop. She had just toppled Elena Rybakina, the world number 2, the Wimbledon champion. She had just defeated Elina Svitolina, the world number 8, the former world number 3. The tennis world was at her feet. The Filipino diaspora was celebrating. She had secured her first ever Wimbledon seed. She had climbed to world number 30. She was the hottest name in tennis. And then, she walked onto the court in Bad Homburg. Her legs were heavy. Her body was tired. Her mind was still processing the emotional rollercoaster of Berlin. Standing across the net was Elise Mertens, the Belgian veteran, the world number 26, the woman who had beaten her twice before. The woman who knew exactly how to exploit her weaknesses. The woman who had figured out the formula. The odds makers said she would lose. The experts said the fairy tale was over. The fatigue would catch up with her. The pressure would break her. And for the first 20 minutes, it looked like they were wrong. Eala raced to a 3-1 lead. The magic was back. The crowd was roaring. And then, everything changed. The Bad Homburg Open was supposed to be a continuation of the dream. Just days earlier, Eala had electrified the tennis world with a fearless giant-killing run at the Berlin Open. She had stunned 2 top 10 players, world number 2 Elena Rybakina, and world number 8 Elina Svitolina, and emerged as one of the hottest names heading into Wimbledon. The victory had pushed her to a career-high world number 30 ranking, guaranteeing her a seeding of at least number 29 at Wimbledon. She was the first Filipino player to be seeded at a Grand Slam singles event. But the run had come at a cost. Eala had played 3 consecutive matches against top-tier opponents in Berlin, including a grueling semifinal loss to Linda Noskova. The emotional and physical toll was evident. Former players and analysts had repeatedly warned that managing energy levels is crucial before a Grand Slam. One tennis legend even suggested that Eala should consider taking a break following her emotionally and physically draining Berlin campaign, arguing that recovery could prove just as important as match play before Wimbledon. Those concerns seemed to surface against Mertens. Eala arrived in Bad Homburg fresh off her semifinal appearance at the WTA 500 Berlin Open. She was riding high on momentum and confidence. The expectations surrounding the Filipina had never been higher. But on center court in Germany, the magic vanished. The contrast could not have been more striking. Only days earlier, Eala was dazzling crowds with her fearless shot-making and relentless energy. Against Mertens, however, she appeared a step slower, a little less sharp, and unable to sustain the intensity that had fueled her remarkable Berlin charge. The match began with promise. Eala showed encouraging signs early, with her improved serve and ability to absorb and redirect pace helping her gain the upper hand. She broke Mertens in the 4th game to take a 3-1 lead in the opening set. The start hinted at another inspired performance from the 21-year-old Filipina, and briefly rekindled memories of her giant-killing exploits from the previous week. The crowd, packed with Filipino fans, was in full voice. They could feel it. They could sense that something special was happening. Eala was aggressive. She was fearless. She was playing like she had nothing to lose. The first set showed early promise for Eala, who raced out to a 3-1 lead as both players traded heavy hits from the baseline. But that would be as close as she came to seizing control of the match. As champions often do, Mertens adjusted. The Belgian, a former doubles world number 1 and one of the tour's most accomplished veterans, steadily absorbed Eala's early pressure before turning the match on its head. Eala's serve and forehand began to falter, allowing Mertens to break back in the 5th game. The Belgian then reeled off the next 5 games to claim the first set, 6-3. Mertens steadied herself, brought out her big game, and began to dictate play, reeling off 5 straight games to complete the comeback and take the opening set, 6-3, on her 4th set point. The momentum shift was dramatic and complete. The second set was more of the same. Mertens maintained her momentum, consistently pushing Eala onto the defensive and forcing a string of unforced errors. The 30-year-old Belgian surged to a quick 3-0 lead with powerful serving before Eala clawed one back to make it 3-1. Eala had a chance to narrow the gap in the fifth game after earning a break point, but Mertens relied on her strong serving to hold and extend her lead to 4-1. Mertens pushed ahead again to 4-1. Though Eala showed flashes of her best, including a sneaky drop shot winner and an ace at 40-15 to pull it back to 4-2, the Belgian veteran proved too strong. Mertens extended her lead to 5-2. Eala showed resistance in the eighth game of the second frame, saving 2 match points on her own serve to extend the match. But Mertens closed out the ensuing game to secure the match, 6-3. She quickly closed out the match with a comfortable service hold in the ninth game, securing victory in 1 hour and 24 minutes. The Belgian dictated play from virtually every corner of the court, finishing with 10 aces compared to just 2 from Eala. While both players struggled at times with double faults, Mertens' superior shot selection, court positioning, and tactical discipline allowed her to stay firmly in command. By the time the final point was played, Mertens had taken 4 of the last 5 games to complete a convincing straight-set victory and improved to 3-0 against Eala in their head-to-head face-offs. The defeat was more than just a loss. It was a continuation of a troubling pattern. Mertens has now beaten Eala 3 times in as many meetings, a streak that began in 2023 at the WTA 250 Jasmine Open in Monastir, Tunisia, where the Filipino star fell 7-5, 6-0. Eala had a chance to get even with Mertens, but lost again in straight sets, 6-2, 6-1, in the Madrid Open round of 64 last April. The rivalry has become a psychological barrier for Eala. Mertens, a seasoned campaigner and world number 26, knows exactly how to exploit the cracks in the Filipina's game. She has figured out the formula: absorb Eala's early power, then turn the tables with consistent serving, tactical discipline, and court positioning. The defeat raises uncomfortable questions. Has Eala finally met her match in Mertens? Will she ever figure out how to beat the Belgian veteran? The head-to-head record suggests a pattern that Eala has been unable to break. But champions are defined by how they respond to adversity. And Eala has proven time and time again that she thrives under pressure. The defeat may not erase the gains Eala made in Berlin, but it certainly dampens the momentum she carried into Bad Homburg and raises fresh concerns ahead of Wimbledon, where expectations surrounding the Filipina have never been higher. Despite the singles exit, Eala's week in Bad Homburg was not yet over. She was still in action in the doubles draw, where she was partnered with tennis legend Venus Williams. The duo faced alternate entrants Catherine Harrison of the United States, ranked world number 144 in doubles, and Australia's Alexandra Osborne, ranked world number 141. The pairing with Williams was a childhood dream come true for Eala. Williams, a 7-time Grand Slam singles champion and one of the sport's most celebrated figures, brought a wealth of experience and wisdom. Venus, alongside sister Serena Williams, had announced a return to doubles action ahead of the 2026 Wimbledon Championships, with the WTA 500 Bad Homburg Open serving as part of their preparations. Eala entered the tournament as a wildcard, and after both she and Williams suffered first-round exits in singles, their attention shifted fully to doubles. The doubles competition offered Eala a chance to regain confidence. It offered her a chance to shake off the disappointment of the singles loss. It offered her a chance to prepare for Wimbledon alongside one of the greatest players in the history of the sport. The silver lining was clear: Eala's week in Bad Homburg was not over. And the best was yet to come. The defeat to Mertens was a setback. There is no doubt about that. Eala had come to Bad Homburg hoping to build on her Berlin momentum. Instead, she suffered a sobering first-round exit. The defeat may not erase the gains Eala made in Berlin, but it certainly dampens the momentum she carried into Bad Homburg and raises fresh concerns ahead of Wimbledon, where expectations surrounding the Filipina have never been higher. But Eala's journey is far from over. She has already achieved what no Filipino tennis player has ever done. She has climbed to world number 30. She has secured her first ever Wimbledon seed. She is expected to be seeded at least number 29 at Wimbledon. She has beaten the world number 2 and the world number 8 in back-to-back matches. She has inspired a generation. She has shown the world that champions can come from anywhere. The Bad Homburg loss was a reminder that the road to greatness is never easy. A reminder that there will be setbacks along the way. A reminder that the true measure of a champion is not how they handle victory, but how they handle defeat. Eala has already proven that she handles defeat with grace. She will now turn her attention to Wimbledon, armed with a career-high world number 30 ranking and a seeding of at least number 29. The tennis world is watching. The Filipino fans are praying. And Alexandra Eala is just getting started. The Bad Homburg loss was a bump in the road. But Wimbledon awaits. And the legend of Alexandra Eala is just beginning. Eala K and Pe line ad kana high etc.